You know how they say good things come in small packages? Well, good things come in mailing packages too. So while I cannot wait to share with you what is inside this box, let's look at something else first. I know, serious teaser, but that's just kind of how it is. So I've recently received some goodies from the ScrapbookCom, and I got to share them with you. Now, some of these you've kind of already seen already in one way, shape, or form, but just in case, hang on, because I can't wait to share some of this with you. Some things I've already made some little somethings with, and you might be inspired by that. Let me know what's inspiring you in this video today. Drop me some comment in the comment description area, and maybe I'll come back and revisit it and we can actually unpack it with a process video. Like this A2 pocket envelope. Have you seen this yet? I have recently made a little envelope with it, and what it is, it literally just fits an A2 size card or piece of paper, which is what this is. Could be a great note. I'm thinking this is fabulous for scrapbook pages, for planner pages. Yeah, it doesn't have to just be for an A2 card. It's a nice size envelope, and I made this all sweet and Valentine-y, and we'll revisit that as well. Now, I know it's not spring yet, but nested eggs are already in the shop. Look how tiny that one gets. I mean, it's really little. I'm not sure what I'm doing with such a little egg yet, but I got some fun ideas for this one, so I hope to be able to jump into that when I'm not feeling so wintry. Okay, nested stitched scallop frames. That is a mouthful. You can see I have dove into this one quite readily. And actually, let me dig in here in my little box of tricks. You've seen this already. This is actually the large pocket right here, like this, and I just folded it. I mean, not the pocket, I'm sorry. It's just the large die, and I made it a pocket, and that's what this is here. And this is going to, as I haven't finished my December album yet, this is going to find its way in my December album, since it does say we wish you Merry Christmas. Anyway, this is a fantastic die set. I love the scallops. I've made several things. I'm looking here up on my shelves to see if I have anything I can just show you real quick, and I don't, but I'll link to this if there's more to show you. But this is a great die set. Okay, something else that I'm super excited about, the nested stitched clouds. I'm thinking word bubbles. I know it's clouds, but my brain... Okay, can I ask you a question? How many times have you been asked what your word of the year is? Can I just confess, I don't got one. There's too many thoughts going into my head right now. I really literally can't narrow it down to one. And I'm going to be so okay with that. And I'm inviting you to be okay with that too. But I thought this could be a fun way to reset the new storytelling with, okay, here's what's going on in my brain. And it's a lot of different things. So I'm excited to bring that back to you. This A2 card, what's it called, Jamie? It is called a die. This is also really fun. I have played with this a little bit, but not too much. Let's see what else we have in here. Nested 4-leaf clovers. This is super fun. And I'm also finding this to be full of ideas. My brain is going boing. I can't wait to share some ideas with this as well. Now, something I have already dove into, you can tell by the mess that my dies are, because I literally just threw them back into the packaging. But you've seen me show this on my Facebook page, and this was a lot of fun to make. This is obviously very Christmas themed. I used ScrapbookCom's vintage pattern paper, which was super fun, and lots of layers. I mean, to me, this just begged for layers. And so this was a lot of fun to make. And I even had someone recently ask, what is that on your, because I put it as a little display over Christmas. If I didn't say Merry Christmas, it'd still be great for the winter, with this fun stag that I have and my winter greens and candles. And it was made for a fun little vignette in my front room. But there's a lot more where this came from too. So what also comes with this is the Valentine treat box add-on. So you can see a lot of opportunity to make this fun and Valentine-y. I know. I'm just kind of full of energy. I have a lot of ideas. I've been working on stuff. And so maybe you're kind of hearing me being a little obnoxious right now. I'm really not trying to be. I'm just really ready to get some stuff made and to get some stories told. Now, this is called the Mini Christmas Village. And I realize we're no longer in Christmas, but I think this is really super cute and it's really tiny. And I don't know, it might still find its way into my December album. We will see. Kind of like this home theme that might need to be told here. I also played a little bit with these Christmas ornaments. These have been at ScrapbookCom for a little bit now, but I took one of them and I die cut out 3 pieces of pattern paper, and then I just put them together to make this little ornament. I think if you keep like a Valentine tree, or if you keep a tree up yearly, I actually have one right here off stage. That you could, this is where this is hanging right now. Also, you could take this really far and just have a lot of fun with this. Of course, there's a tree, but you can make that a winter tree. I'm all for keeping a tree up during January because it just makes me happy. All right, nested stitch stamps. You have seen me dive into this die set because love. And so I am going to link several videos that I've already made using this set. I've had this one for a little while actually, and you may have seen me post these during the holiday season, but you can see how this one went to work twice here on this tag / ornament or whatever you want it to be. I'm just going to tuck these back into my box for next year, and I'm sure we are going to see them yet again. Okay, something I was really looking forward to. Now, you may or may not know, I need to make some room here, friends, that I adore the mint tape. I literally daily, I use the mint tape. I'm looking over here. I'll just pull it off my wall. I have this hanging up on my wall. This, given enough stamps, I could rule the world. But look at, I have it hanging on the wall. What? With the mint tape? I know, silly, huh? I use the mint tape to, like a Post-it note. I'll tear a piece off because it peels off so easily. I'm trying to see if I might have even put a note on one of these. I can't find it now, but I really do that. Trust me. And then to have these different sizes, I love to use these in my art journals, or to add a border, or to hold a die on the cutting plate. I mean, the ideas are endless. So you're going to be seeing these pop up a lot. Great size. Super happy that they are now available at ScrapbookCom. And I just had to shout their praises. I haven't even opened this yet. This is the black sparkle pen. If you're familiar with the brush glitter markers at ScrapbookCom, this is a new member of the family. It's black, but it has some sparkle to it. And then scissors. I have a scissor obsession. Hello, my name is Jamie Pate, and I am addicted to scissors. I love scissors. I'm looking around here. There are scissors all over my studio. I love them. These are fantastic. They really are, what's the word I want, Jim? Think real fast. They don't stick. I was going to say stickless. No, they're not stickless, but they don't stick. So I've been using this a lot for cutting, for example, my adhesive rolls. Fantastic. Super excited about this. Okay, let's get back to the little box. So this is new at ScrapbookCom. It is called an explosion box. These have been around for a little while. I've heard people a lot talk about how they've made these in the past, but it's very complicated to actually make this on your own. And here's a couple reasons why. Well, number one, it explodes open, so to speak, right? It just unfolds. So there are so many layers to this. And for this one here, it looks like there's multiple layers on each side. And there are, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On each side, there's 4 layers that are attached to the base of this box. Then you have this little tiny box that could also fit inside. Then you have all these extra elements. Now, I'm going to not go through every little detail here. Scrapbook.com has a live stream that just came out this week, actually. I shall link it. And take some time to watch as Laura there on that live stream unpacks everything about this box. I wanted to share it with you real quick here, all in its undoneness. And I'm going to then also next show you a couple of ideas for using. Okay, I have an idea. Now, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself because my brain is literally exploding. See what I did there? With ways you can use this. And not only is there the craft one, there's a white one and there's a red one. The craft one is just so fun to see craft come back because I've always loved craft. And I have a story that I want to tell in it. Now, the thing is that this could be a great personal storytelling apparatus, which is what I think I'm going to use it for. But I think in my making, because this could be a real great slow craft project because there's so many layers to it. It's like a pre-made album in a way. So it's a great way to tell a story. It's a great way to build a story and then give it as a gift to somebody because it's just going to sit on a tabletop somewhere if you can close it. And of course, you wouldn't have all this in there because you can attach these to the sides and whatnot. And then you can, if you're giving this as a gift, you could fill that with whatever. Like that'd be fun to make, like clusters of embellishments, tags, whatever, and just pop them in there. That'd be a fun thing to give away. Anyway, it just can just sit on your on a tabletop of some sort. And I think people would be really intrigued, like, oh, what's this about? And you're going to be like, oh, we'll open it up. And they're going to be like, oh, that's incredible. And you're going to be like, oh, thank you so much. So, okay, let me show you what I have in mind with this. Okay, now I have transformed some of this on the inside. I don't have the outside transformed yet, but that's okay, because what matters is what's on the inside. Don't judge a box by its cover. Okay, just stay tuned. I'm sure I will add to that. So what I've done so far is I added little stories. It's all crackety, huh? I've added little stories to my panels. What I chose to do was to look at this almost like a 12 by 12 because this is actually 14 inches by 14 inches, right? But when you're looking down at it, I've seen some ideas where each time you turn it, you're facing that and you're facing that. I don't know. I just thought I'd be a little different, and I had it in such a way that when you're looking down, it's looking right at you. So let me talk about each of the panels and kind of how I'm going about this. Number one, this is just super fun. You talk about just getting into flow, pulling out your favorite collection, pulling out dies, and just enjoying the process of making and adding, thinking about the person you're maybe going to give this to, or reflecting back on the memories that you're putting, which is totally what I did. This was just such an eventful time and such a sweet moment in my 2024. But I'm digressing. I just want to share with you basically my concept here. The concept is these are little mini scrapbook, little panels, each one of them. They just so happen to be about 3 3/4 inches in dimension. Now the whole panel here, and they get a little bit bigger with each of these pockets. But for the most part, each of these panels here is 4 inches by 4 inches. So my background paper is 3 3/4. And then I just do what I do. I added rub-ons to this top corner, to this corner here. I added my photo first, and I tucked tickets, camera icon, of course, foliage, and always a word. I'm all about the words. And I did the same thing down here. And I sort of kind of played it up to reflect sort of what was happening. I guess it's all in the screen here. To sort of reflect what was happening here. They're kind of complementing each other. And I had a lot of fun doing that. That kind of also keeps the scope of how you're making inside certain parameters, because I just sort of grabbed for the same things and I remade. What I did here now is I added a real simple, because it needs more interactiveness, not really, but that's just how I am. I wrapped this ribbon around it and trimmed down a journal cutaway card, and it just tucks in there. And then over here, using a ScrapbookCom die, I cut out this mini envelope, and then I layered it with more of the ribbon and some stuff that I just cut out, and of course words. My heart is happy. The middle is sort of, to me, the foundation of everything that's happening here. And today is the day. Hello, this happened in 24. I need to find a way to put January on here because this was a year ago. And then there's pockets, right? So I've only just started, but this is for sure going to be a great journal pocket. I rounded the edges, and I intentionally want to leave this Let's get it back in there. Just a little bit more elevated. I want to be able to see it. And there's plenty of room when you're closing this all up to have some things elevated just a bit. It's only about a 1/4 inch. And so that was fun. So this one down here is slightly different. It's a die cut card. And I added some foliage to it as well as a rub on. And so, yeah, the foliage probably kind of loose like that might not be the bestest thing, but you know, just to hold it down and slip this back in. I actually like this for the moments to kind of show through there at the bottom. So this was just ridiculously fun. Okay, so let's just do another page here. See how these each open up almost like they're their own mini album, complete with pockets. I love this. Can I be honest with you? Before we get started here on making one of these pages, I was a little intimidated by this because it looks like a lot. But when you break it down, you realize, no, these are just all little miniature scrapbook pages. There's a lot of them, so you can just tell a year's worth of a story. You could tell a Christmas story. You could tell a story, right? You could just communicate something to somebody and have fun in the making. Let me show you what I mean. So I've grabbed a couple of items here, just like I would with a scrapbook page. Just everything is just in mini form. And this is cut down to 3 3/4 size. I'm just stressing the edges again, kind of like I always would with my edges. And once that is done, I've grabbed the 1mm adhesive foam. I wish I would have got the little bit thicker one. It's a little flat on here, but it's okay. Just be mindful of how much elevation you want, because there's room. There's plenty of room in these boxes to not have to just go with flat embellishments, but to pop them up. So I started here by putting this die cut frame and then the photo over. And then I remembered I wanted to add some additional dimension and interest to the background. So I have cut out the rub on and I'm going to put it into place. It kind of gets covered up a little bit as the other elements come in, but I'm okay with how it was because it just kind of peeks through. And again, it's just providing some extra visual, as if this explosion box needs more visual interest. But, you know, it's just kind of how I roll. And I wanted to be and just do what I do on these little tiny squares. So that's going to be all popped up in place. And it's like normal. I'm bringing in a word phrase to give my little mini page a title. And so best ever. This was just the sweetest moment in the world. I just love the story behind this moment right here. And so layering in the laser cut botanicals, and the way I finished it here, I actually came back and I improved it. So just pay attention here in a minute as we transition into what that looks like. I stamped using WordFetti stamps, something to remember. What is it? A day to remember. And so I'm also layering that as part of what the story is here with the embellishments on this background paper. So in a moment here, you're going to see how this all comes together and looks not bad. I'm pretty happy how this turned out. So that is the final little mini. I actually tucked a little stamp in there as well. And so now we're going to grab the adhesive, the double-sided adhesive. And I found that sometimes craft paper does not play well with adhesive. So you're going to have to go with a little extra sticky adhesive to put that in place. And just like I would on a mini album page, I'm putting this in place here. So be sure and check out the videos that I have linked in the description, especially the Explosion Box live stream, where it's a little more long format and you're going to see a whole lot of ideas and thoughts. But stay tuned. Subscribe to this channel if you don't already. I will come back and I will walk through this whole entire slow craft project when I get it all finished. And I hope you join me for that.